Oh, hey, random stranger on the internet. Do you want to read my book for free? It'll really help me. I don't even know if you like to read books, but I'll give it to you. Yeah, that's one of my don'ts for building your ARC list. Stay tuned for all of my do's and don'ts in today's video. Hi, I'm MK Williams. I'm an author and independent publisher. I love sharing my insights about all things self-publishing with you. Before I get started on today's video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. That way you can be here every Wednesday as I release new videos on all things self-publishing and how to make a career out of being an author. I've talked to you all before about the importance of early reviews for your book and why ARC readers, advanced review copy readers, can help you in the long run. But how do you find these ARC readers? I'm sure you've seen other authors here on Authortube promote when they're open to ARC readers for their upcoming books, and I've done this myself for some of my recent launches. One very clear do that I have when you're building your ARC list is that you want to make the value to the ARC reader very obvious. You know as the author what benefit you are getting, right? You're going to be getting these reviews from people, you're getting word of mouth, you're getting your word out there. But why should this person commit to being an ARC reader for you? One of the first benefits I always emphasize is that they're getting a free copy of my book. Avid readers have to fund their habits somehow. A free book can obviously help them if they just love to read all the time and they literally can't get enough books in their hands. I've also started to put together exclusive video content for my novels so that ARC readers are getting that extra information behind the scenes. They feel like they're included. They're part of this launch team with me. Maybe for your book, if you could do a coaching offer for a free one-on-one hour of coaching or a group coaching session, could you do an exclusive video? What are the extra benefits you can give them that only the ARC readers are getting? Maybe you're willing to write their names into the acknowledgments for your book. I did that for the Infinite as a nice thank you. It's a pretty cool benefit, and you could put that as a deadline around signing up for that specific benefit. Like, hey, if you want to be listed in my acknowledgments as a thank you for being an ARC reader, you have to sign up by this day to be an ARC reader. So that's another way where it benefits them. That's pretty cool to have your name in somebody's book. It benefits you because you're going to know who your ARC readers are by a certain date. So that's a way that works for both. One of my clear don'ts for building your ARC list is don't just send ARC copies to everybody on your entire email list. Do you know everybody on your email list? You're effectively giving them a free copy of your book. You don't even know if they're engaged with your emails. Do they like the genre that you've just put out? Do they have the time to read this? You don't know. Instead, promote to your email list that you're looking for ARC readers in your next message that you send to them. Make it clear what you're asking for. They would want to read a book by that release date. Agree to leave an honest review of the book on the platform of their choice. They would need to let you know what email address to send the digital copy to. This reiterates that they're getting a digital version and what format they want. So they're having to opt in to receive the ARC. Again, if they're opted into all your emails, you can tell them the book is coming out. You can tell them you're open for ARCs, but you specifically want to make sure this audience is super engaged and willing to be an ARC reader. If you just send it for free to everybody on your list, well, why would anybody on your list end up buying the book later? Some people will say, no, I want to buy the book to support you, or no, I don't have time right now to be an ARC reader, but I'll happily read it later. But if you just send them a free copy, they're just, okay, well, now I have a free copy just sitting here whenever I get to it. So you definitely want to make sure you are getting their positive opt-in to be on your ARC list, not just from your email list. Even if someone has said before, I'd really love to be an early reader for your upcoming book, you want them to confirm that again. You can send an email message and say, hey, I know you said you wanted to help be an early reader for my next book. Here it is. The book releases on X date. Would you be able to read it by then and do a review? If so, can you let me know the format you would like the digital copy in, PDF, Mobi for Kindle, or EPUB for all other e-readers? Don't just send someone all of the versions of the book, because one, that can get flagged in their spam trap as this huge files that are being sent to them. And two, they may not actually be able to help you by the date you need it done by. Maybe they're moving or they're sick or they're just busy. So again, even if somebody before said, yes, I want to be an ARC reader, ask them again when the time comes. If they told you yesterday, then obviously they're opted in. But if they told you a month ago, you need to make sure that you're getting that consent from them. All right, my next don't is don't assume that just because someone was an ARC reader for your last book, that they want to be an ARC reader for your next book. Always get that positive opt-in. So maybe you wrote in a different genre. Maybe they didn't like your last book. They shouldn't want to hurt your feelings, so they never said anything. So you definitely want to ask them again. And also just their priorities in their life may be different. So you definitely want to give them an option to say yes or no. No hard feelings. They can be on the ARC list for the next time around. There are some paid services out there that people use to help manage their ARC list. You would pay a fee to the service, and they manage sending out the correct version of the digital copy. They watermark it. They help with the version control, reminder emails, etc. It can foolproof this whole process for you. If you have a lot of money to invest, then go for it. If you have a very large ARC list, you'll probably want to invest in this to make this process easier for you. But for the most part, if you're starting out, you can do this yourself. You can manage it in just your email inbox. It's going to take a little extra time to do it manually, but I always recommend that you do the work yourself before you outsource it to a service so that you can understand all of the pain points for yourself as the author and also for your readers. So that way you're not just outsourcing it, something goes wrong, and you're just like, I don't know where in the process this went wrong because I've never done this without this service. So I definitely recommend that. I have never used a paid service. I have a good modest ARC reader list, but I know the people I send it to are going to read it and they're going to leave a review. I have a lot of other authors I've talked to where they have these huge ARC lists and maybe 10% actually follow through. So it really depends on the size of your list and how engaged they are, and also how often you're putting out books. So these were some of my big do's and don'ts for building your ARC list. So what are the best practices that you found when you've been building your lists, or when you've been on the receiving end of an ARC? What are the things that you've liked? What are some of the major don'ts that you've seen as well? Share below in the comments. I always love to hear from you guys. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. That way you can be here every week as I release new videos on all things self-publishing. It's also going to let YouTube know that you're getting value from what I'm putting out and help get these videos in front of other authors like us. Now you can get back to writing your book.